Hello YouTube, Liverpool fan in Japan here, the Miyazaki man Sai. This weekend we've got the Carabao EFL Cup final against Chelsea. We're going to go with the lineups, tactical formations, what Chelsea are looking to do and how Liverpool can absolutely topple Chelsea once again in the final. Hopefully not on penalties, not even extra time. Let's do them in normal time. But before we do that, I've just got word that Liverpool drew Sparta Prague in the Europa League. Fairly decent match before the Man City game at Anfield. Got good memories of Prague actually. I did a bit of a bender in and around Europe with the missus. Looky. And now to the lineups. So in all honesty, you're pretty certain how Chelsea are probably going to line up. They're going to have their goalkeeper, standard 4 at the back. Let's put them in amongst our players. They've got 2 holders, right? We're going to put one there and one there. They've got number 10. They've got a winger, and the striker. Okay, so let's just put some names to faces here. So obviously Robert Sanchez is probably fit again, but in all honesty it'll probably be Petrovic. He's played fairly decent in goal. So Petrovic in goal. Right back, you're looking at Malagusto, their player of the match for the last few games. Played very well at right back in the absence of Reece James. In the absence of Thiago Silva, they're going to have Levi Colwell and Disasi centre backs. I think Disasi saved them quite a few times in the previous match against City. Left back Ben Chilwell, hopefully he doesn't dive too much in this particular game. Holding, they're going to have Enzo Fernandez and Moise Caicedo. So everything is going to go for Enzo Fernandez. Caicedo is going to shield him, try to do what Endo does for us, and Enzo will roam around and do his thing, his bit of balling and playmaking. Up in the 10 position, they're going to have Conor Gallagher here, and Conor Gallagher is trying to get in amongst our number 6 position and disrupt our midfield and add an extra body into midfield as well. Left wing, Raheem Sterling. Right wing, starting with Cole Palmer. And then you're going to have Jackson up front, causing havoc, running. Hopefully he's not clinical as per usual. And then that is how they're going to set up. Classic 4-2-3-1 formation. However, what you're probably going to see is Raheem Sterling and Jackson form the double forward line with Cole Palmer roaming in and around, Conor Gallagher as well, covering for whatever Palmer decides to run into. You're going to have Jackson running the widths and Sterling running the widths, and Cole Palmer trying to cause havoc in and around these areas, and Gallagher in and amongst the pockets as well to cause havoc. Enzo will progress and Caicedo will cover. So probably they might end up in a kind of box, or they might really push in and play wide and try to break us through the middle with these 3 players here. So that is how Chelsea predominantly going to play and get in and amongst our Liverpool team. So what can Liverpool do to counter that? And first of all, what will Liverpool do to kind of set up against this formation? So let's look at the Liverpool lineup now. So I think there are 3 key decisions to make, and it is in regards to who is actually available, who's injured, and their fitness levels. And I'll give you the different variations and permutations as well. So obviously we've got Kelleher in goal. Queeve will be holding us firm, hopefully keeps a clean sheet as well. That'll go a long way to making us the rightful cup winners that we deserve to be, because we've clawed our way, we've got the momentum. And yeah, let's do Chelsea in the final once again. Right back, first choice here, Conor Bradley, Joe Gomez. So seniority dictates that Gomez starts this one. For experience, he could body Sterling as well. He's used his physicality against Sterling. His acceleration, his pace is fairly good. A little bit declined due to injury as well, but very solid. Alternatively, Conor Bradley has been an absolute fire. The video I released today, Conor Bradley, shows that he possibly has the highest ceiling in our whole entire Liverpool squad. Well, Klopp could decide one way or the other. Gomez is probably our senior right back option. But if he does start Conor Bradley here, what message does that send to Gomez if Gomez is not playing? But Conor Bradley has overtaken him in the pecking order. In fact, he might have even overtaken Trent. No, let's not go there for now. I think Bradley starts this one because he's going to be on a white hot fire and on that man of the match performance against Chelsea. But could Gomez slot in at left back? Now that's the second consideration, right? Against Chelsea, it was Gomez at the left and Bradley on the right. But Robertson is back and gives us a natural balance on the left-hand side. And I think big game player, world-class left back, possibly the best left back in the world on occasion in the last few years as well. Robertson starts this game because Gomez can cover the back line. Now that's one of the big considerations here. He can cover the whole back line, including the centre-back positions. So if we have an injury in centre-back or need to rotate, it's between Quansah and Gomez for seniority probably gets the nod. Although lately he hasn't started in centre-back. It has been Quansah and Gomez on the full-back options. But we do have Tsimikas on the left-hand side and Gomez can cover right-hand side. So I think Gomez for his versatility, unfortunately, it's going to be a negative in this case for him. We'll probably sit on the bench and we'll go with Robertson and Bradley, just my gut feeling. The Duracell Bunnies, energy up and down to cause him havoc. Obviously Van Dijk is penned in here straight away, as is Konate. Konate was rested, hopefully doesn't disrupt his rhythm, but we're going to need them on full form. Be aware of the danger, marshal the danger out, cover Jackson, Konate, shifting Sterling out wide, bodying him, not to be beaten, covering Bradley as well when he ventures forwards. Man, Mountain, Emperor, Wataru Endo. Ultimate muscle. Look at that back. And those thighs. Yes, Enforcer Endo will keep us secure, and we know his job. His job is obviously to show up Moise Caicedo, show how a real man plays in the 6th position, covering for the better of the Brighton 2, Alexis McAllister, and one more, +1, an extra 8. So where McAllister actually slots in, where he fits in, will be determined by the other 8. And the other 8 is also determined by if Mo Salah is fit. Because if Mo Salah is fit, Salah starts. He rightfully is our highest metric player overall in goals and assists, always +10 every single season. Anytime you look at his stats, it's always going to be +10, double digits. Let's get real here. It's Mo Salah, Egyptian king. Left wing, Lucho Diaz. So given he's been our most informed player at the moment in terms of consistently being a threat, and we always look to him. We always look to pen him 1v1 against the right back of the opposition. And in this case, it's going to be Malo Gusto. Malo Gusto has been doing well going forwards. Let's see how he copes defensively against Lucho Diaz. Hopefully his dad's in attendance as well. Lucho Diaz, I have a good feeling he's going to turn up trumps in this game and do something extra special. He's always a consistent threat throughout the 90 minutes. We've been looking to get him the ball, isolate the ball, because magic happens at his feet. Hopefully he's clinical in this one. Now the striking decision is determined by whether Nunez is fit or not. If not, it's going to be Cody Gakpo, which is not a bad option. But let's, for 1 second, put Nunez in there because I really hope he's fit. He is the agent of chaos, creates chaos theory in and around the penalty area. Absolutely disastrous for Colwill and for Disassi to try to get close to him. Can't back off him. They can't do anything with him. Nunez is vitally important, and he will make an impact one way or another. I'm sure Nunez and Salah will have a part to play, even if not from the start. Now, if Salah plays, right, that means Harvey Elliott is not shunted into the right wing position, because he has to be in the right wing position if Mo Salah doesn't play. The only other possibility is Szoboszlai, who is back for this game, by the way. Every single indication, every single press conference said that Szoboszlai would be fit for the cup final. Now, he might not be match fit or ready to start. He could start. That might be a big surprise. But he is available. So he could be a pseudo right wing option, as could Gakpo. If Gakpo's on here, Luis Diaz could go to the right, Nunez could go to the left, and Gakpo could be centre forward. I don't want to see Gakpo on a rant. We talked about that before. So with that in mind, McAllister and Gravenberch are your two options in 8. I would put Gravenberch here because he deserves it based on his previous performances, breaking the lines, being secure in midfield, turning over the ball, winning the ball, breaking the press. He's on form. He is on form. He's doing well, which means that the Mac attack is straight here. Therefore, you have that classic midfield of Endo, fresh, silky smooth, oozy gravy with some meat behind him. And the big Mac, the Mac attack, McAllister doing his thing, because in the right position, he's been crossing and getting an assist right from the right hand side, a corner, and that driven cross that Gakpo headed in. So with this in mind, we actually have pretty good options, because in the back position, we have Quansah, we have Gomez, we have Tsimikas. In this case, in midfield, we have Elliott and Szoboszlai. We have the kids if we need them. We have Bobby Clark, we have McConnell, obviously Dan's was up front as well, but Gakpo is probably going to be first in line coming on in that particular position. Szoboszlai can cover as well for Salah. So we have a lot of options here. In the other world where Szoboszlai does start, it means that we'll run him in until he can't run his race anymore, and hopefully you've taken the lead, in which case you put on a Gravenberch or someone to take the reins and see us over the finish line, or you go a bit more defensive. So I think that will be our starting lineup, pending if Salah and Nunez is fit. If Salah's not fit, Harvey Elliott starts on the right. If Nunez is not fit, Gakpo starts up front. And I think this is the lineup. The only closer consideration would possibly Gomez for Bradley, but I don't see why, because Bradley has been white hot, on fire, on form, and in this particular setup you have your dual number 6s protecting the back so we don't get overloaded, and Gravenberch forming the Christmas tree in a triangle, and we shut it in and try and hit him on break. Depending on which side is overloaded, Salah might stay high, Nunez in and behind as well, and we can break from deep as well with Salah up top. So it's very, very prominent, this starting position, and I think it gives us lots and lots of options to really do our thing, and this releases Gravenberch to work as magic as well in and amongst the lines. Obviously, Endo presses high and covers here and wins the ball high up as well. And in this particular formation, Robertson will push up for sure, as will Bradley, which means we pen them in a similar kind of formation that we always do, with Endo dropping in to form the third centre-back when necessary. We keep it nice and tight. We congest the midfield, because I don't think, even though Jackson is pacey and Sterling is pacey, they don't outpace Van Dijk and Konate. They don't do them for physicality either. There will be chances, there will be shots, but that's where Queeve, who is a top-notch keeper, and he's had a run of games as well, should come to prominence. His distribution is going to be very, very important. And I do like this combination of Lucho Diaz and Robertson, because Robertson will always overlap, which means Lucho Diaz can come inside, in and amongst the half spaces here, which allows Salah to go in amongst the half spaces. Bradley will go up wide on right, McAllister covers, Gravenberch, Endo, Konate, Van Dijk. So you've got these kind of positions as well, where Salah and Lucho go into the half spaces and offensive triangle, work the magic with Nunez, and it can be an underlap and overlap. Additionally, if there's a switch of play, Nunez can start on the left-hand side to pin back their right back, in which case Salah is probably going to be marching in and around the penalty box area and Lucho Diaz transitioning there. Bradley has shown a very good ability to adapt in an inverted position in this position, and he's always a threat. He always works out an opportunity to have a shot, so I quite fancy Bradley in this position as well. But obviously McAllister and Bradley will have to take turns at pocket, because McAllister's probably cuter with a slide rule ball. But saying that though, Bradley's been ultra impressive with his techers and getting on the ball, his first touch and getting out of danger and absolutely making those goal scoring opportunities. Robertson here is a little bit wasted, but Robertson I think will try to just get the ball and play it to someone who can do a bit more with the ball. Actually, ultimately, I think Gravenberch will stay more inside and Robertson on the outside. That's probably more or less how we set up. But Gravenberch is a roamer. You find when Gravenberch, Endo and McAllister play together, Gravenberch will roam into the various different positions. He will try to be the dummy runner. When the first ball goes up, he'll be the last man running off the ball, trying to get in amongst the goals as well, becoming a nuisance to the opposition. And then we really do try to pen them in. So when you've got two players there, Endo will be covering the lines as well. Konate will always be covering that right flank, because predominantly a lot of opposition like to hit us in and by hand in that right flank. They don't do it so much on the left. Have you noticed that? Because I think Van Dijk's recovery pace as well is scared of the Van Dijk-Robertson combi or the Van Dijk-Gomez combi, for example. So I think we will play our standard game, but this is not Anfield, remember, this is Wembley. It's a cup final. It's going to be tight. It's going to be a bit of nerve-wracking tension as well. That's particularly one lineup, how we could set up. Now, if Harvey Elliott were to start because Salah's not fit enough to last the whole game, and if Nwelda Gakpo starts, and let's just imagine that these two are on the pitch, because Elliott and Salah do similar things, except from the fact that Elliott is slightly less direct in taking the man on a la Salah. He'll more or less probe in and around the half space in this position and really allow Bradley to overlap, which means McAllister will be doing a lot of covering and Gravenberch will end up in this kind of pocket here, which is predominantly decent as well, because Elliott and Gravenberch, I'm sure, can make something out. If this was a Nunez, slightly different game, but in the world that Gakpo starts here, Gakpo will be roaming in and around, sniffing those chances, but holding that line as well. And they're going to be looking to isolate Lucho against the fullback. So there'll be a working triangle in this situation to overload the right, which we always do, to work it out to Lucho 1v1, and we'll try to get to the back post or for a cut back or for an overlapping Robertson as well. So that is one ploy that we can do. The other ploy that we can do is overload the midfield, because Gakpo can drop into the top of the diamond, the shadow striker, the trequartista. So not really the Firmino false nine, because Gakpo doesn't link up play to that extent, but he's an extra body to drive the ball forward and on the press. In this case, Lucho Diaz and the fullbacks really kind of contest the midfield battle as well and try to overwhelm the midfield. We try to get the balls out, and then we work our little triangles to get into the half space to switch the ball over, whether it's over to Lucho or whether it's over to Harvey Elliott. We try to retain possession, win possession, and out the ball goes, and then you work your triangles. You've got Lucho, Robertson, Gravenberch. On the side you've got Elliott, Bradley and McAllister. Obviously Gakpo should be in and around there as well, and we press them like that. Now, I don't think Chelsea have the ability to congest the play and close us and press us as high and as intensely as we can. But the situation that we must avoid, this is their game-winning scenario, is that these areas here, which are going to be occupied by Cole Palmer and probably Enzo Fernandez breaking from the 8 position. They're going to have Sterling out and around the wide position, Jackson out and around the wide position as well, Caicedo somewhere floating in the middle, and eventually Nkunku. Nkunku is going to come on and add the extra man to overload a particular position, whether he's here or whether he's here. Now what we usually get done in by is a straight ball in between the fullback and the centre back to a player who has the options to either play it across, take a shot across, and with a bobble on the outside, you're looking at players like Cole Palmer, Conor Gallagher, Enzo Fernandez controlling the play in and around our penalty area. We were camped and congested in this area because we could not control either side of the 6. Now, in that situation where we're overwhelmed, that is Chelsea's strength, and that is how they're going to try to break us through. It's going to be very unlikely that they come directly through the middle, and also we're quite strong predominantly out wide, but when they can work their way into the half positions here, which predominantly we try to get into as well with Lucho Diaz in this box and Mo Salah in this box, it's going to be whoever can control the positions on the side of the 6 that ultimately is going to control the narrative of the game. And I think with the personnel we got, the fact that we have Endo ability to play with McAllister against Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, the difference is going to be in the firepower on the forward line, in that Salah and Nunez have that pace, have that technicality, have that clinical nature, have that high goal scoring, goal creating opportunism that allows them to get in amongst the players and cause havoc. We also, I believe, have a better set piece attacking threat via Van Dijk, via Konate, delivery via Robertson, delivery via McAllister, and we've got Lucho Diaz, who is a much better player than Raheem Sterling in terms of actual creation of goal-scoring opportunities, assisting, and creating havoc. Sterling is paced, but he runs in straight lines. He's energetic, he's got good endeavour, but Lucho Diaz is a better quality player. And we do have the one difference maker in Mo Salah, who's at world-class calibre, and he is the difference maker. When you're looking at the biggest stage, obviously he scores in practically all the matches. So Salah, Van Dijk, in the absence of Alisson, will have to have big games, but Endo and McAllister, as always, is our basis to succeed. They give the platform for the team to build off, and I'm really, really excited about Conor Bradley because he's adding to that mix as well. He's always an outlet. His one-touch ball playing skills to transition the ball and progress the ball is excellent. He gets himself in opportunities, and he's willing to receive the ball. He's willing to take a shot. He can get assists as well. And from this side, from Bradley over to Lucho Diaz or to a Nunez to a Gakpo, even a Gravenberch in around the end of the area, I think we're going to get a lot of joy in that position. Overload the right hand position, play it over to the left, and Salah can conjure some magic himself on the right hand side. So Bradley, delivery, Salah's delivery with the outside left foot as well. I think we're going to get some joy. I'm really, really expecting a win normal time here. I want to say 2-1, 2-1 in normal time, but it's a cup final, and Liverpool historically win cup finals. We're thereabouts. Klopp's final glorious chapter must end with a quadruple, I hope. And this is the start of quadruple. At least we've got to be in there to the very end, right? We can't fall on the first hurdle in our quadruple hunt because, man, that would be sad. So, yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. I know a lot of people are nervous about Chelsea, but guys, our squad is immense. Like, literally, you look at our lineup, right? Let me reset this for a second. And just look at this potential lineup, obviously bearing in mind that Szoboszlai is probably fit for the bench, but not fit to start, so he doesn't appear in this particular lineup instead of Gravenberch, in which case McAllister goes on the left. Which Chelsea player in this cup final will get into this team? Not over Robertson. I don't think they get over Kelleher as well. Petrovic. Malo Gusto, it's not better than Bradley. The centre backs, no way. Caicedo, we know who's the emperor here, who's the big don. No one's getting ahead of McAllister. You might put Enzo Fernandez, if he played in a better team, ahead of Gravenberch. Completely acceptable. You might even put Conor Gallagher in front of Gravenberch for a function. But Gravenberch deserves to be in his team on merit. In terms of potential performance on the day, I think he can give as good as he gets. You'd probably put Enzo Fernandez, in all honesty. If I was picking combined 11, I'd put Enzo Fernandez here based on who was available. In fact, even Caicedo, possibly. But Caicedo hasn't been playing anywhere near as good as his high potential or his price tag. Gravenberch has performed as good as Caicedo, but Enzo Fernandez probably that higher tier quality. So probably Enzo Fernandez. Raheem Sterling, no way over Lucho. Jackson, what a laugh. Agent of Chaos all day. Jackson needs to learn Chaos Theory, otherwise, yeah, no chance. No one's getting ahead of Mo Salah. The only argument is possibly could you shunt an Nkunku somewhere. Cole Palmer's not getting this team, but no, Nkunku hasn't shown anything either. He's been injured all the time. It's Nunez for sure. So one position that Chelsea could potentially get into this team, even though we're injury ravaged. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that absolutely amazing? Music to your ears. Hopefully that gives you a bit of confidence. Miyazaki Man Ichiban. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video. Help me speed the algorithm. Until next time, enjoy the match, guys. Janet.